Alright, so now it's the next day, and we just finished going over all the panels with checking them and making sure we go over all the spots we missed with 1500 grit and making sure they're all thoroughly scuffed up. Now we're just going to get a clean bucket of water and wash both these panels down, and then we're going to start taping up and prepping the panels for paint. Alright, next you just get a microfiber towel and start drying it up. Make sure you get into every nick and cranny and every crevice, because once you start spraying, if there's any water around these edges, it's going to pop out. We're also going to use our air gun to get all the water out later, but just do your best to thoroughly dry this. You can always just leave it out in the sun for a day too. So. Okay, next it's time to start taping up the panels. As you can see, I already got started on this a while ago when I was waiting for the Bondo and stuff to dry. So I'm just going to show it to you here. The correct way would probably be to remove these pieces, but it's too much work, and they always have little clips inside that always break off, and then you have to go chase them to put them back on. So you can just tape these up. Make sure you tape them up as best as you can. You can always just slide it underneath here and then get it over. So if you just get it here, it's sometimes you don't get it all the way, you don't cover it all the way, and then you end up getting paint on it. Then you gotta remove it. You gotta find a way to remove it later. And also make sure you do a cut here, so because you're gonna have to open and close these doors to tape inside of them. Okay. Okay, next is time to tape inside these door jambs, and the way I like to do it is the way a lot of people do it, I guess, is well, at first we're gonna actually go around and cover this area because we're gonna be masking this side. Okay, and next what you want to do is start laying your tape down like this, halfway, and then you just peel it back a little bit. That way when you close the door, this is gonna keep all the whatever you're spraying out of this place, so you won't have any paint marks or paint lines in the door jamb. Okay, and you want to do this all the way down. Okay, so here's how it should look like. Also, don't forget to tape up at the bottom all the way, because when you close this door on these, you can't really open them back up. Oh, and I just noticed something. This door has this this rubber piece that we are going to tape up because it's gonna close over that. Actually, now that I think of it, in this case we could have just taped this up and shut it, and then we would have been okay. But then you guys wouldn't have seen this. So anyway, just gonna tape this this rubber part here and shut the door, and we are going to be on our way. And just a quick check on this door, and this door actually has this rubber seal here too, so we're going to tape that up. If this didn't have the seal, we just lay some tape like this. That way when we close this door on it, it would cover everything. Okay, alrighty, I think we're all good now. Oh, good enough. Okay, whenever taping panels and getting them ready for paint, it's important to keep in mind to think about when you're going to be peeling it off, because after you paint, you get your clear coat on here and you go to peel this off. If it's not done right, like if it's not, it has to be separated from the panel that's paint going through. So if it's like on the panel that's the paint has sprayed on, and you go peel this off, it's going to peel off your paint with it. Okay, so you got to keep that in mind whenever taping these edges, all that stuff. Anyway, that's the that you're going to be painting. Okay. All right, and there's this door. Okay, now it's time to start putting masking paper on the panels. What I like to do is put my masking paper, which is up there, around the immediate corners around the panels, and then bring it up to here. And for the rest of the car, I like to use a plastic tarp that I have. Just tuck it underneath the masking paper and then cover the rest of the car to keep away from overspray getting on it. I also got these old rags that I like to cover the tires with, just in case. Okay, so I just got done masking everything. Got my plastic tarp. I've been reusing this, but it's a good idea to buy a new one because this is gonna have like dust particles and stuff on it from the last paint job I did. So, but I'm gonna hose it down with my air gun. Just get the compressed air and get it all cleaned up, hopefully. But yeah, what we're gonna do next is actually also use my air gun to get all the dirt and also all the water out every nook and cranny, because we washed this earlier. Okay. Okay, and here's why you need to do this. See all this junk, black stuff. This is like dirt and grease and whatnot that has got in these, and then when you go to spray, this is gonna come out and ruin your paint job. So this is why cleaning is probably the most important part of the preparation for putting base coat on, putting your color on. Okay, so to clean this mess up, we just go back to our grease and wax remover, get a brand new clean microfiber towel, and just go over it, blow with air, go over it again. We do this until we're sure there's no more contaminants on the body, on the panel. Okay, and after a couple of strokes, you want to keep turning this around, and so you get the clean side of the microfiber towel running across your panel. Okay. See all that dirt? See all that junk on there? That dirt and grease and stuff? That's gonna ruin your paint job if you don't clean it up. Okay, also don't forget to get some tape inside your keyhole, because cleaning that afterwards will be a headache. And or if it's easy, just remove your lock, just door lock. But anyway, I think we're ready. Next step would be to tack these down with some tack cloths that I'll show you later, but first we're gonna actually mix our base coat first. Now it's time to mix our base coat. I did this earlier. I just lost the footage, so I'm redoing it again quickly. Hopefully I won't miss anything. So we got half a pint of base coat for the job we need, which will be plenty. I think it cost me about $40 to get this. and you'll need to mix this with reducer. You know, whenever you go to get your base coat, you want to ask them your mixing ratios. It's usually 1:1 for your base coat. Also, you'll need your the paint coat for your car to take that in to get the right paint. And the paint coat, you know, for different cars, it's different locations, but it's usually either in the trunk, in the cover for the spare wheel, or it's in the glove box or your door jamb. Worst case scenario, you can't find it, you can just drive the car there and they'll find it for you. Or you can always call the dealer with the VIN number. They usually can find the paint coat for you. And yeah, so you'll need one part of this and one part of reducer. Per one part of reducer, you need to mix them equally, basically. You can also get these at the paint store. They're mixing cups. They come with these little diagrams that are gonna help you mix your base coat and clear coat later. For the base coat, we're gonna basically use this first diagram, which is 1:1. So we're just gonna fill it up to, let's say, here, and then to add the reducer, we just go up to the corresponding number on the second part. Okay, and then get a mixing stick. We stir it thoroughly, and then we'll just put it in our paint cup. Make sure you use one of these strainers, especially since we pulled our gun filter earlier. Okay, just pour it in, and yeah, I think that's it. You should be good to go. Oh, and don't forget to shake the can well before you start mixing it with your reducer. Okay. Okay, so one last step is to tack down your panels that you're going to be spraying on. And these tack rags come in these little plastic containers. Just take them out. Then what you want to do is just open this all the way up. This is folded in a bunch of different, folded like 3 times or something. So, but it's best to open them all the way up like this. This is sticky, and it's gonna grab any dirt and dust particles, contaminants that are gonna be on your panels. You just want to fold it up like that, like nice and fluffy, and then you don't want to like really rub it in. You just want to gently just slide it across your panels, and this will grab all the contaminants that it needs to grab. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna do this once. We're gonna spray our first coat, and for now we're just gonna be concentrating on the repaired area. We're not going to be worrying about blending anything. We're just going to get that. We're going to do as many coats as we get that it takes to get that cover that. Then we'll worry about blending it into each panel. Okay. And between each coat, we will be using our tack cloth. And each coat you will need to wait 10 minutes for it to dry. Then you can use your tack cloths over it. But then you want to go over all the panels and pick up all the particles. Okay. Okay, now we're ready to put in our first coat, and don't forget your face mask, and also make sure, I got a fan up here that I'll turn on in a bit, and you want to make sure you work in a well ventilated area. Okay, you really don't want to be breathing this in. Also, if you're going to be doing in this near any residential areas, you want to make sure you have nice neighbors. Okay, and so yeah, so face mask on. Actually, I'm just going to do a little test run on one of these masking papers. Okay, so it's been 10 minutes. Now we're going to go over with the tack cloth. Make sure this is dry. You don't want to be smearing this. That kind of ruins the whole deal, okay? And you want to go very gentle over this. You don't need to dig in here. Okay, time for our second coat. I think I mentioned this, but when I explain how to set up these knobs while painting, basically this is your fan area. You want to set it to max and then turn it back one turn. Same thing goes for your fluid knob. And also when you go to paint, when you go to spray, you know, you start at the bottom or you start at the top, but like you spray, like you press the trigger, you spray, and then at the end you let go of the trigger. Because if you don't let go, like, and if you're painting on a panel like this, like you spray here and you don't let go, and then you come back down and go back, you're gonna have a blob. You're gonna have more paint at the edges than at the center. Okay, so you want to spray, you want to press on the trigger, spray, let go, press again, and you know this is going fast. You know, so you want to keep that in mind. And what else? Yeah, your spray pattern. You want to do. Okay, let's say this is your spray pattern here. When you go one turn and you come back lower, you want to come back 50%. So you want to have 50% overlap each time you come down or up. Okay, that way you get a nice even finish. Okay, now we tack it down and apply our third coat. Okay, we're going to tack this down again and apply 1/4 coat. It's still showing, and it will still probably show a little bit, but then we'll still have the blending to do, and every time we blend, we're going to go over this, and that's going to add another 2 or 3, at least another 3 coats, so it's going to be covered by then. Okay?